Just before you start, I have to turn off the stove. Okay, so give me 30 seconds. There you go. I made pea soup for the first time and I didn't realize how long the split peas would take. It said bring to boil and then simmer for 30 minutes, and it's been like more than an hour. So I don't know who wrote those instructions. Okay. So I'm really happy and very honored tonight to have Rose do her teach back. Looking extremely forward to it. And I love it. If only we knew what we know. This sounds fabulous. Rose, I'm going to hand over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. And greetings to you, my mindfulness friends. Welcome to session 3. Last week, we discovered what mindfulness is. We did a bit of neuroscience, and then Nicole also helped us to understand the importance of paying attention. So in today's session, we're going to use that understanding to further explore how mindfulness relates to our self-image. Yeah. And just to put a bit of context to this, this session would ideally be presented to women either in a conference or perhaps in a women in leadership experience. Okay. So with that, let's get into it. And I'm going to invite us to prepare our minds, our hearts, and our bodies as we enter the space. So the practice that I invite you to participate in is called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And it's often attributed to a gentleman called Dr. Andrew Weil, who is a well-known physician and a very big advocate for integrative medicine. Now, how it works is we're first going to clear our lungs. So we're going to exhale completely out. The second step is that we're going to close our mouths and slowly inhale through our nostrils to the count of 4. Thereafter, we hold our breath for a count of 7. And don't be alarmed, because if you feel that you can't do it that long, it's okay. You do it at the level that you're comfortable at. And then for a count of 8, we're going to gently exhale with control through our mouths. And we will do this 3 times, and I will help you with the counts, okay? So, dear mindfulness friends, the invitation now is for you to place your feet firmly on the ground. Sit upright without putting any strain on your back. Palms on your lap facing upwards as a posture that you're open and ready to receive. Chin may be slightly lowered. And if you are comfortable, you may close your eyes. So we're going to exhale all the air out of our lungs and inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And return to your natural breathing rhythm. In and out. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes and return to this collective space. Welcome back. And as we all know by now, that mindfulness is such an important concept. So we take it very seriously. And in that light, my friends, I have a very serious, in fact, a very deep question to ask you. So are you ready for this? Because it's really higher grade. So I really need to know that you're committed. Okay, yeah, okay. So the question is, what age were you when you first saw the 8 in the middle of the 8 of diamonds card? And anybody can just unmute and share with us.
Today age.
Anybody else? Did you know about this before? When did you discover it? Ah, wow.
8 in the middle of, saw the 8 in the middle of the 8?
Uh-huh.
What? Oh
So
my
if
I'm
we
also
God, there it
confused.
is. Oh, no
I'm not
way.
seeing it.
I never saw it before. Oh, wow. Okay,
Isn't that
crazy.
amazing? Because the 8 was always there.
Jeep.
Our eyes were just not trained to see it. And the question is, how many 8s are we missing and just passing us by in life without us being mindful of it? And this aligns beautifully with the definition of mindfulness by John Kabat-Zinn. And he talks about paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and as non-judgmentally, non-reactively, and as open-heartedly as possible. Yeah. And so I also love this definition because it aligns with one of my favorite definitions by, or rather concepts by Dr. Daniel Goldman. And I loved it so much that I actually by hearted it. So please allow me to offer this to you. Daniel Goldman says that the range of what we think and do is limited by what we fail to notice. And because we fail to notice that we do not notice, there's little that we can do to change until we notice how failing to notice shapes our thoughts and deeds. And this, if you're interested, he wrote in 1985 in the book, Vital Lies, Simple Truths. Yeah. So basically, the essence of what I'm saying is that we can really move through life not noticing, completely automated, unconscious, and we miss out on the deeper knowledge and wisdom that is in the universe, like the 8 in the diamonds. So I've entitled this session, If Only We Knew What We Know, because it centers around using mindfulness to access a deeper knowledge and wisdom that's not overtly visible to us. So as we start to live more mindfully, we start to notice and uncover perhaps the hidden powers and potential that is waiting to be unearthed. And yeah, I can only imagine what type of world we can encounter, and how it can transform if we allow ourselves to access this level of knowledge and consciousness. So I then now became curious about, but where does knowledge come from? Yeah. And how does it relate to mindfulness? And then how does it relate to the knowledge of who we are as human beings? Because I truly believe that one of the greatest quests that we should pursue is the knowledge of self, which reminds me of another quote by Socrates, where he says, "To know thyself is the beginning of knowledge." And Serena Jade also offers us a beautiful quote where she says, "Self-knowledge is the jewel of all knowledge." So whilst there are various schools of thought when it comes to, what knowledge is and its application, in the interest of time, I'm just going to offer you three perspectives today. Now, be aware, I'm going to be using some very big English words. Don't be alarmed. We will play with this together. So the first school of thought around knowledge is Platonism. And this is Plato's philosophy that all knowledge and ideas already exist in an abstract form and in an abstract realm. So through learning and intuition, we can access these eternal truths. Now, what's interesting about this is that just last month, the journal published in Psychology Today, they also advocate that mindfulness and intuition may have a symbiotic relationship, meaning that a mindful person is able to read more cues in the environment, and we know this, and thereby they can trigger their intuition to do problem solving, better decision making, ideation, by really accessing that inner instincts and intuition. Now, given this understanding, the question is, what treasures exist within ourselves that we are not intuitively aware of yet? Which reminds me of the green rose, which some of you may or may not know, this is actually the original rose. And when we stumble upon this rose, sometimes we might attribute the term black swan just because we're not familiar with it. But the rose has always been in existence. And if we just pause to recognize this, we can appreciate that whether it's familiar or not to us intuitively, it doesn't take away from the fact that it has always been here. So the second school of thought is, wait for this, a tongue twister, empiricism, right? And this is almost a bit of a contrast view by John Locke, where he says that actually knowledge is not pre-existing. It comes about, it's created through sensory experiences. Now, how does this relate to mindfulness? We know that mindful practices help us cultivate a more vivid sensual experience. Yeah. Nicole reminded us last week how she feels when she drinks that first sip of coffee. And so what happens in our brains, and it's called the reticular activating system, or your RAS. Yeah, how's your RAS? So if we think about the brain, and if we imagine this is our brain, and this is the brain stem, oops, they are moving out of camera, yeah. So right at the base stem of the brain is a little ball of neurons called this reticular activating system. And what that does, it serves as a filtering system and processing all the sensory information that we receive. So when we start to pay attention, the brain is actually equipped to bring us information that supports where we place our focus. And when we engage in these new experiences and we mindfully pay attention, the beauty is that we not only increase our knowledge, we increase the depths of our knowledge, because our brain is helping intensify our experiences and by filtering out all the noise. Now, how does it relate to us, the knowledge of self? The question is, what experiences can we allow ourselves so that we can improve our knowledge of self, internally and externally? And sometimes, because of self-doubt, because of fear, imposter syndrome, we're really robbing ourselves of new experiences. Now, you can see on the screen, I've used the metaphor of the Windsor knot, because that's how most of us know how to make a tie, yeah? But look at the other multiple ways that we can expand our experiences and therefore enrich our lives, yeah? So when we are mindful and become more aware of the fullness of who we are, we become open to new experiences and expand into more of ourselves. And then the last school of thought, determinism or potentiality. And basically what this says is that the potential for all knowledge does exist, but it becomes actualized through human discovery and understanding. Now, how does this again relate to mindfulness? Mindfulness enhances various dimensions of our intelligence by improving our cognitive functions, boosting our emotional intelligence, and promoting our mental clarity and insight. So with this increase in capabilities in the various centers of intelligence, apologies, there is the potential to discover and innovate in new and exciting ways. Now, the question for ourselves is, how do we unleash the latent potential within us? And most of you remember, if you were around at that time, humans had the potential to send a man to the moon in 1969. Yeah, but we only put wheels on the suitcase in 1991. So when we become mindful to who we are and our unlimited potential, there's possibility to make significant transformations in the world, like sending a man to the moon. But mindfulness and the beauty therein also allows us to notice the small and more obvious changes, like the wheels, that can create phenomenal results. So, irrespective of what school of thought you want to ascribe to, ultimately, mindfulness unlocks the path to knowledge. And it is one of the most significant keys to help us know more about the knowledge of self. So with that, dear friends, I want to bring us into the space of a bit of reflection. And I know that I sent you some pre-work. So in the interest of time and considering what we've just spoken about now around knowledge of self, I'd like for you to share no more than 30 seconds, one insight that you'd like to offer the rest of us on the line. So perhaps if I can ask either one of the Nicoles to start, if you're comfortable.
I don't mind going.
Thank you.
So from the video, what I learned is that, and how it relates to your session tonight as well, you need to love yourself. So notice the good things about yourself, have knowledge about what you like about yourself, and focus on those items. Stop being so harsh about yourself and judging yourself. Rather put forward your best aspects. Far too often we focus on the negative aspects of ourselves. So put your best foot forward. Thanks.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And it again speaks to the brain, because the brain is just naturally 5 times more negative. So we have to become more conscious that we feed our hippocampus more positive information. Thank you so much. Yes, I see the other Nicole. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rose. I think I was really touched, and also tying in with what you've been teaching about tonight, is how much of ourselves don't we notice? So, how much we're focusing on, but more importantly, how much are we not seeing? And again, negativity, I can be more harsh on myself, and that really pained me in the video. I felt really achy in my heart when I saw how harsh, these ladies were describing themselves, and I could relate 100%. So I think that's what I'm touched with is what I'm not noticing about myself. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, yes, Nicole, and that's a powerful question because we only see reality in small pieces, and perhaps feedback could be a way in which we try to to bridge the fuller picture of who we are. Thank you for sharing. Kerry, would you like to also share something?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Rose. So I noticed the harshness at which we view ourselves and the accuracy at which others see us, and I think that was quite eye-opening to notice that, and to see those pictures side by side was quite incredible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was just a shock, because the picture doesn't lie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. Mark, is there something that you'd like to share as well, or are you comfortable that we continue?
Yeah, I mean, I love the opening of the Bob Marley song, Don't Worry About a Thing. And I think that was a little song to Rose to tell her that everything will be okay in her presentation. But also, yeah, the fact that perception is skewed, and that everybody sees us in a different way. The way we see ourselves is not necessarily the way that other people see us. And if you've got 10 people in a room, each person will be seeing you differently.
100%, Mark. I received that because we all have different filters. And I guess that's the essence of today's conversation, is to really sit with the knowledge of who we truly are, so that even when we get these variable feedback, we can still stay true to the truth of what lies inside of us. And if I may share, that the reason why I chose this topic is because it's one of my daily struggles. I struggle with confidence, self-esteem, bad image, of how I look, and therefore I think that because it's so close to me, it might also be something that's relevant to you. And so thank you for allowing me to bring this topic and that we can speak about it so freely. And since I discovered mindfulness, I use the practices to help me be kinder to myself. So when I start to prepare for a meditation, I take up the stance of a queen. Yeah. And so with that, dear mindfulness friends, my beautiful friends on this line, and my fellow queens, I invite you to take up your royal posture as we engage in a guided meditation. So if you are comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and arrive in this moment. Noticing your body in your seat, the tip of your nose, the space between your fingers, your eyelids, your heart beating, your breath. With your feet on the ground, the awareness of gravity, allowing your feet and ankles just to relax and release. Letting awareness move up your calves and shins, inviting them to relax as well. Moving to the knees and thighs now, as you release the hips and pelvic area, going up to the belly and lower back, covering the entire torso, upper back and shoulders. Release and relax as you simply breathe. Feel the ease in your left arm and hand, and your right arm and hand. Letting go of all the tension in the neck, as well as the face and head. Just breathe. Just release. Becoming aware of the fullness of the whole body, your entire being, here, now, calm, at peace. Nowhere to be, nothing to do. Imagine that as you are breathing in and out, in and out, this natural biological rhythm of the body is in sync with the natural rhythm of who you are, your infinity, your beauty, your wisdom, your worth. Feel all the life that is vibrating alive in you right now. Be, receive, give thanks. In all your searching and gaining, you are simply uncovering what has been here all along, like the 8 hidden amongst the diamonds. It has always been here, waiting for you to discover. Your mystery, your lakes, your valleys, your rivers. It's time to remember now that all the worth you are trying to prove is here, now, in this moment, on your fingertips, on your breath, and in your heart. Maybe you have forgotten who you truly are as you keep proving your worth to others. It is time to lay it down. All the effort, all the striving, lay it all down. Be, receive, give thanks. There is the part of you that is deeply tired of searching, tired of chasing, tired of the lies. Your inner wisdom is calling you to respond to the invitation of just being. Wholly, completely free. This part of you has allowed you to hear these words today, giving you permission to take hold of this gift. Be, receive, give thanks. It is in this moment that you stop proving your worth, that you start living in the abundance of your most noble self. If you have forgotten what it feels like, allow yourself to remember being like a child that's running free, laughing in the sunlight, no cares, no worries, just embracing each moment exactly as they are. Right now, in this moment, there are affirming truths waiting at the door, eager to greet you with softness and love. Allow yourself to invite them in. And as they come to you, receive them with non-judgment, non-reactively, and as open-heartedly as possible. Let them gently wash over you like a warm glow of light, gently permeating every part of you. Now, I accept myself exactly as I am. I am strong. I am brave. I am resilient. I am smart. I am creative. I am capable. I have everything I need within me to succeed. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I am powerful. I trust myself and my intuition. I love and embrace all of me. I am radiant. I am beautifully unique and incomparable to anyone else. I am grateful for my body and all it does to support me. I love my body. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I have been worthy from the very first moment I took my first breath. Be, receive, give thanks. Being aware of your body and all sensations that are available to you. When you are ready, gently return to this space and slowly open your eyes. Yes, so if you need to do a little bit of stretching and movement, just to release and breathe it out, welcome back. And I thank you for allowing me to serve you in this session. For homework, I'm going to send you an assessment on self-compassion. It's a free assessment by Kristen Neff. And I invite you to go through that with some journaling and meditation. And of course, if you want to engage with me further, I'm happy to do so because, as you know, we can be comrades in adversity as we maneuver life together. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very much, and over to you, Mark.
Does it have to end? Does it have to end? I want you to carry on. I'm just saying I loved it, Rose. Your time was perfect. I could listen to you all night long. But I'm going to comment last. I'm going to throw it out to the other ladies on the call to comment on your teach back before I go. Would anybody like to go first?
I'm happy to go.
Thanks, Nicole.
Yeah, Rose, that was really beautiful. Well done. Well done. It was really inspirational, and I felt really held throughout. I felt like you were in command of the space and you had it, and I felt very safe. I loved the pre-work. I thought that was a really great idea, and I have never seen that video before. It's really moved. Oh, the counting you did in the breath work was fantastic. I felt a little bit on my first breath, I felt a bit like, can I hold it for this long? And then I remembered your words, like not to worry if you can't do it the full way. So immediately I let go in my mind a bit so I could relax. And you were so consistent with the counting that made me feel so safe. I was just following your instructions. That's it. I could block out everything else in my mind that started worrying, and I could just focus on you, and your timing was consistent. So thank you. That was really great, skillful breathwork leading. I've never seen the 8 of diamonds in the middle of the 8 of diamonds before. So that was mind-blowing. I can't wait to go and show my kids. And I loved how you linked that to the content, and you brought that throughout. So I noticed that it was really skillful. And linking to the quotes, you went straight into the quotes. I just loved your nuanced and highly intelligent ways of linking the content. I got that, and you took me on a journey, and I loved that. The neuroscience was fantastic, and you blew me away. It felt like you were just saying this all out of your head, like off the cuff, like you didn't need a single note. That's what it felt like. It felt like you were an absolute expert, and you were enjoying it, and you loved having us here, and you loved teaching. And I felt engaged, and I feel like I've learned something, and I myself have learned something about myself too. So I've learned knowledge, information, and I've had an experience myself. So, wow, I agree with Mark. I could listen to you for sure. Give me another session. That was great, and nice homework as well. Yeah, so really well done. Well done.
Thank you, Nicole. Such enthusiastic and spirited feedback. Really loved your feedback. Thank you so much. Any extra words for Rose?
I'm happy to go.
Thank you.
So thank you, Rose. I really, really enjoyed your session. I found your voice very soothing and easy to listen to throughout. I found your session, I think the only way I can describe it is full of wisdom, I think is the right word. It felt like you a very wise person, and the things that you said, the quotes that you had, it was wise. It's the only way I can describe it. It also felt that you were very authentic throughout the session, using examples of how things have impacted you, and being open to exposing yourself a little bit as well. I found your session also a good follow on from the previous session. So it was session 3, and you referred back to the previous 2 sessions. Excuse me. You also had very good interaction with all the team members on the call, asking for their advice and then commenting afterwards on everybody's comments as well, which I enjoyed. I found your topic very interesting, and I learned a lot. Just from my perspective, one thing that I think detracted a little bit from what I was learning was during the Platonism, empiricism, and determinism and potentiality, you went quite fast through those 3 concepts. So I didn't quite grasp all of them. So my recommendation, if you're open to receiving it, would be just to slow down a little bit in giving so much useful information, but I really enjoyed it. And also enjoyed your affirmations in your motivation at the end, as your meditation at the end. So thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed your session. Thanks, Rose.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Really excellent and additional feedback there. So appropriate. And I'm in agreement with what you say. Any other points of feedback? Anna-Marie?
Okay, Mark, I can go.
Thank you.
I can also say, so many positive things, the homework, everything. I've learned a lot. But I would just say even the body scan was a bit too fast. That's my experience. I for me, if she would slow it down a little bit, it will be much more meaningful. But otherwise, everything was 100%.
Thanks so much, Anna Marie, and really good to see you. Thanks for joining.
Okay.
Excellent. Kerry's saying in the chat, well done, Rose. This was an incredible session. Your confidence throughout your presentation was striking, and your excitement for the topic was captivating. I love the point about the color of the rose, because it goes to show how we as individuals and as a society construct our reality. It makes one think that if we're able to create it in the way that we have, then what are the possibilities that lie untouched, and how the use of mindfulness can help us tap into that. I also thoroughly enjoyed your meditations and the way in which you led the final meditation. Thanks, Kerry. It's beautiful, thoughtful sentiment and words. Good. I think everyone's gone. Yeah, I thought your title was extremely powerful. If only we knew what we know, because that sort of piqued my interest right from the get-go. What do you mean if only we knew what we know? Surely I know what I know, right? So that opened up to the mystery, and I felt it very mysterious. It had an air of this otherworldliness to the teach back. And the reflection of last week was excellent. And thank you for saying how, who your audience would be. I think it would fit incredibly well in a conference and a leadership experience. And the invitation to the breathing was gentle and thoughtful. I loved the posture. It was very thorough. The feet, the way we sit, but don't strain your back. It was very kind. It reminded me of the word ahimsa, non-violence. Palms upward, chin, eyes. You covered all the very essential points of posture. And the breath instruction was really good. I know Andrew Wheel's work. One suggestion there that maybe could help with what Nicole Mansell was saying is, when I do this, I start with a 3-4-5. And I think that's also Andrew Wheel's formula. So you get everybody into the 3-4-5, and then you say, if you're comfortable, we're going to move into the 4-7-8. So it's more of a gradual progression into the 4-7-8. But you did mention that do it at your own pace, and if it feels comfortable, and get into it. But maybe that's probably my main suggestion. Seeing the 8 was outstanding, and then reflecting on the works of John Kabat-Zinn, Daniel Goleman. Loved the quote by Daniel Goleman. Wow. And it really summed up and tied in with your theme. So that was a lovely find. The pictures, your slides were outstanding. And Socrates' quote, self-knowledge is the jewel of all knowledge. I really enjoyed that as well. There was a little laugh in your voice at times that made me relax and feel comfortable, and it made me feel that you were enjoying yourself throughout the presentation as well. You didn't come across as nervous or anything. There was you just beautifully calm, and you embodied mindfulness in the way that you spoke, in the way that you delivered the content. All knowledge already exists. Wow, mindfulness and intuition. That is a fascinating subject. A symbiotic relationship, you said. I just want to know more. I want to learn more. I feel like I've reached the pith of mindfulness instruction in your presentation. What treasures exist within ourselves? And I was growing more and more excited as you were going on. This is a very fascinating subject, and the empiricism, the RAS. You know, if you had more time, I would have liked you to unpack what is RAS and tell us more about that, you know. But you didn't have enough time. But still, it's a fascinating subject. Your background is amazing. You look beautiful. The lighting is great. Your connection was great. I enjoyed the imagery that you used. It was powerful. The Windsor knots and how many ways we can make a knot. The 1969, 1991 was a great analogy. Mindfulness, unlocking the path to knowledge. That image was outstanding. Your images were mind-blowing. I think there's obviously something so much about imagery and multimedia that you harness the energy and power of to bring into your teach back. The getting us to share over the homework video was also really wonderful, and giving us 30 seconds to comment, giving us a bit of a boundary there was excellent. And the video, the pre-work was fantastic. Sharing it in the WhatsApp was genius. And then you go into your struggles, which was so vulnerable and so just so real and authentic. Problems with your self-esteem, etc. And you know, I just really felt it. And but at the same time, I was going, really, you know, you've delivered such an incredible teach back. I just didn't feel that. Those things you were saying about yourself, you were so, but it still made it wonderful and so professional. But when you practice mindfulness, you take up the stance as a queen. You made it regal, like we were entering into a different realm, a different reality. The points of focus for me were totally unique. The tip of your nose, the space between your fingers. I mean, I've never heard that before. I loved it. You know, it was just, it took me in, it sort of woke me up and said, okay, this is not the default practice. This is something unique. It's something different. The image of the Queen was amazing. I love the words release and relax, simply breathe, know where to go, nothing to do. Yeah, I just, at a moment, I just felt like I had some tears in my eyes. I felt, you know, that the whole universe was within me. I felt that you were leading me into a place I haven't been in a while. And I was happy to knock at that door and enter again. And I just felt that you were like almost spiritual, but without coming across in that way, like a guru, you know, very profound. And I thought that no matter what religion or philosophy or background you are, that you will resonate with your message. I didn't feel, oh, this is, you know, Eastern flavor, or this is Western, or I didn't feel sort of boxed in, or that I had to subscribe to some sort of philosophy to really get the essence of your message. The be, receive, give thanks, lovely pace of words. I think, yeah, Anna Marie's got a point about the body scan. Yeah, I mean, you know, you were constrained with time. I felt that your content was sufficient. I didn't feel it was overbearing. I didn't feel it was too much. It was clean. It was well thought out. Yeah, overall, I felt like I had like a divine experience, and I've had a really hard day, and it just made me feel like coming home. You know, I felt that child without responsibilities and laughing in the sunlight, and I did. I felt for that moment free and innocent. I love the way you brought in the mindful attitudes into the practice, and how they gently wash over you. And you played with your voice as well. There was a dynamic with like a strong whisper, and then back into when you were going through into those affirmations. I mean, for your audience, I think ladies would be like tears rolling down their cheeks and having the most incredible time. For me, it would probably be the highlight of any conference that I attended if I was one of those leadership women. And then at the end, you know, taking your slides down was very skillful, giving us a little stretch. I like that very much. It was very professional. The delivery was top drawer. You know, I could go onto YouTube or I could go onto Inside Timer. I could click on some of the big names there, and you know, world class. You would fit right in. But in fact, I'd make a special effort to search beyond all of them and find you, because I really think that what you gave tonight was an incredible delivery, and the beautiful thread right the way through as well, that just tied everything. There was no confusion in my mind. I was pretty, you know, I just felt held, and I felt you carried us beautifully through the process, gracefully through the process. So I'm just so grateful, Rose. Thank you for your effort. And I know perhaps you haven't had the best of days, but you could have fooled me, and you just did an outstanding job. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for the feedback, and also, you know, reminding me about my timing, but also, as I said, I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to do it tonight. There's just a lot of trauma that has happened, and I'm dealing with stuff emotionally and physically. So thank you for holding the space for me and for receiving me. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
You did an outstanding job, friend, and thank you for showing up the way you did, despite everything. It just shows your strength, your resilience in the face of the challenges that we face. So well done. Well done. Yo, that was really cool. And thanks to everybody for your feedback. I do appreciate it. It was really, really on point and very good. All right, so I'm going to confirm next week. I see I still haven't confirmed with who is going. Am I missing something?
I think next week was the public holiday, remember, Mark?
Oh, that's right. That's right. 100%. It is, isn't it? It's the day after June the 16th. Ah, yes. Okay. I forgot it was a public holiday. So there won't be a class then next week. So thank you for reminding me of that. And then we've got the 2 Cathys the week after. So that's the way it's going to go. Yeah. Okay. That's all from me. If anybody else has any other questions or comments, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'm going to speak now. Mark, I probably won't be able to make the 24th because I'll be overseas by then.
Okay.
So is that going to be the final, is that the final Teach Back session?
No, then Kerry's going the week after.
The week after. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 more. Okay.
Yeah. But we'll miss you, Nicole, but I think you're going to have a great time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm sorry to miss the next Teach Backs.
Yeah, no problem. Great. Okay. Thanks, ladies. Rose, what can I say? You smashed it. Really appreciated it. It was fantastic. And yeah, enjoy the holiday next week, and then we'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay.
Thanks, Rose. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Well done, Rose.
Thanks for joining, Anna Marie. Bye, Kerry.